Hi friends, wanted to do a general reading today for you. I feel a real shift since the 14th when Uranus went direct. I feel a lightening and an opening, and maybe it's just me, but I thought it would be fun to do a reading around this and just kind of see what the cards say is happening energetically around us, for those of you that are interested. And yeah, we're going to start with the Elemental Oracle. Pull a card. You're going to help us set a tone here for our questioning, and then we'll go from there. I'm kind of just going with my intuition here at the moment. Okay, well, we have the card of Endurance of the Rock. This makes me think very much about a certain place in my spiritual box here in the woods. Let me just quickly look at what the book says about number 20, Endurance. Okay. Look for the groundedness in a chaotic situation. Be patient. Slow and steady is the way to success. The obstacle is sometimes the way through. Do not be discouraged by slow progression, as long as progression is being made. So this is a card that makes me think of temperance, of patience, of kind of finding your way through intuitively. Yeah, and what did the very first thing it said there? Let me remind myself of that here. Look for the groundedness in a chaotic situation. So I look at this card and I see this little tree holding on to this rock for security underneath this big sky. And this is the feeling that I'm having, is that there's a huge amount happening energetically out there, and that I'm using my tools to stay grounded in what feels chaotic, and sometimes I'm feeling anxiety. But what I felt shift on the 14th when Uranus went direct was what I felt was a shift that we might possibly take this energy of rebellion that is represented by Uranus and start taking it in the right direction, because we've seen insurrection and revolution, which from my vantage point and according to my politics, which are anti-racist and anti-white supremacist and decolonizing and queer, that we need a revolution. We need social justice. We need climate justice on a global scale. And so I agree with rebellion and with dramatic transformation. But we were kind of going in a very conservative and backwards way, kind of clinging to old structures of power through that insurrection that happened in the United States Capitol. So that's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking in these big political, on this big political scale, even as big as the universe here. And let's do the four card: releasing, embracing, hidden, and then what's coming in here. And again, I should always attribute this reading to Cindy of Universal Power Tarot. I think that's wrong. Anyway, I'll put it in the notes. But this is her spread. Okay, so I've pulled 4 cards from the Good Tarot. And I see, wow, okay, so interestingly, so we have, what we're leaving behind is this Page of Water. I've been seeing this in something that we want to leave behind here. We see youthful, emotional, playful, kind of little mermaid here. But the Page of Water is kind of an immature love, flirty, crushy kind of love. And if we're thinking about that in a larger scale, and I think particularly about the way that love can become kind of a trite solution within a context in which people are suffering, they're dying, the suffering is great. And so when people with privilege and I have privilege, when we say, well, the answer is love, maybe we need something stronger. That's what the cards here are telling me. We need something more substantial to hold on to here. And it isn't advice without heart, but it's something here we're being told to embrace this Eight of Earth, which is really about learning new skills, about putting the work in, educating yourself. And of course, it's represented here with this beautiful cello that reminds us of music, of the arts. And I actually see for the first time flying off of this cello a little figure. So you can see this little fairy flying off of the cello. So this is a much more substantial, learned, knowledgeable way to put your heart into transformation. It's really putting the work in. We see happening hidden, may not feel hidden, a tower. So this is change coming because we didn't do the change when we needed to, and the universe will correct. And so we could see that there is a tower. It's a surprising, transformative thing, and it's not always comfortable, but that is happening around us. That seems very true. And we get in the future, Fortune's wheel. The wheel of fortune is about change. And so we're saying here we need change. It may feel chaotic, right? But it may feel as vast and dramatic and chaotic as this night sky, but this little tree is able to stay grounded in the chaos. So there's change coming in. There's a tower. There's Fortune's wheel. It is divine timing. It's happening outside of us. It's bigger than our ability to control or limit or change it. And we're being advised to let go of this kind of light, immature love, perhaps, with a page of water, and move more into this very 3D, put in the work, learn new skills approach to the change that we're going in for here. So now I want to clarify this and use the Light Seers Tarot to do that. See what we can learn further. I feel like I'm rushing. I feel anxiety. I feel urgency right now. Pretty exhausting time to be alive. But I did get a good night's sleep last night. It's an exciting time to be alive. I'm a history professor, and I have all of these amazing young people coming into my classes who are determined to institute this change that we need to see in the world. And they are young people who have social justice visions. Okay, let's see what do the cards tell us about this page of water. So we get the Empress, we get the Ace of Swords, and the Queen of Wands. Okay. So this is what we're to release here. All right. Let me pull some more cards, because I love all those things. The Empress representing this divine, feminine, earth-based approach, and very powerful and abundant. The Ace of Swords represents truth, right? And the Queen of Wands is this really dynamic, magical woman who can be dramatic. She's fire, and she is just having a really fun time here. Yeah, so I feel like I'm feeling in this reading like, how am I to release this beautiful truth coming from the earth, this willpower and this passion? So what I'm thinking here is that this is clearly a message about maturing in our approach to what's happening, and moving from a naive but approach that is founded in all of this truth and nurturing and passion, but that we need to move from envisioning in these really idealistic ways into actually putting this into the three-dimensional world, actually coming up with the actual steps, policy, whatever we're actually going to do to realize what we've been envisioning. So this releasing of a period of envisioning, and perhaps we've been envisioning because that was all we had the power to do until recently. Now we're moving into, okay, it's time to do, it's time to learn, it's time to act, it's time to make here. So let's see what the Eight of Earth, our embrace, says for us. We got the Magician, the Manifester. So this is definitely about making something real in the world. We get the Six of Pentacles, again, very three-dimensional, egalitarian, giving and taking. So yes, and the end of the world and the beginning of a new one here. Yeah, this confirms for me what I'm seeing here. Sorry, I'm not usually so manic when I'm doing readings, and I feel like I'm in a hurry, and it's not really my tendency to be fast. And I can feel how, like, I'm getting readings done in like 20 minutes, and then normally they would take me like 35, 40 minutes to do these readings. So whatever that is, it's the energy that I feel steeped in. So take or leave that if you relate. Here we have the Magician. This is the person who has all of the tools to make in the 3D what has been envisioned. Right? So remember I said we're releasing a period of beautiful, inspired, truth-based envisioning about how to save our planet, how to be in right relation to one another with respect to race, gender, the environment. And now we're being told to move into an Eight of Earth, a very practical, active, learning new skills here to make the world that we have been envisioning. This is a world that is here represented by the Six of Pentacles. This is a little bit of give and take. This is balance, giving and receiving here, but very, very, very 3D. And that this is to clarify another very 3D, beautiful music a cello makes, very low sound. I just thought of a friend who told me that her cello was destroyed. That just came into my head. Very sad. So, and we have the world here. So we're making a new world because the old one is going away. It's the end of a major cycle. We can all feel this. We probably feel anxious in it, right? We can feel this tower happening. And the anxiety is, it's normal to worry about the unknown, to wonder whose world will be made real, like we've all been envisioning, we all have opinions and ideas about what the world should look like. And so the anxiety when it comes to this 3D can be about losing status, about losing security. I look at this figure in the world, it seems very open-hearted and positive. She's just throwing her head back with joy, and this is a very lit up light transformation. But yeah, remember, we're trying to find ways to stay grounded in chaos, to endure this change that is happening. But I see further, oh, that's interesting. I'll just share this with you. These two images are mirroring one another for me, so that we see pentacles that are grounded in music and art and creativity, just as this tree that represents us enduring through the chaos that is much bigger than us, as big as as the stars up there. So definitely this is, my inclination is to understand this to be new skills, but not money, not go get a business degree, but to cultivate your ability to do art. Don't just think about it and envision it, make it in the world. Okay, magician. Let's see, what about this tower? Can we find out? Tower. What is hidden here? We can feel this tower, but what is it about? Well, there's choices. There's projections. That feels clear. There is waiting and deciding on and envisioning. This is a card often of manifesting. You can see the world there to represent and remind us of what we see ending, but also what we are manifesting and envisioning. And thirdly, we get this slowpoke knight. He is letting go all of his pentacles, walking barefoot next to his horse. It's a non-hierarchical, gentle knight. This is a very kind of reassuring clarification of this tower. There's a reader I love, San Tarot, and she often interprets this particular tower as a barrier where we cannot see through to the other side yet. But there's something that has come up to obscure what is next. And I definitely see that here. So we see this person who's having trouble picking. He's got all these options. Some look good, some look, have creepy things in them or whatever. And we see this person looking out the window, perhaps in social isolation, as many in the world are, wondering about what is next, how to get there. So this is a little bit of the energy that we're kind of being told to release here, that page of water, that feely, emotional, visionary, but not very practical, made in the real world. So that kind of sitting back and being undecided and looking out the window. So the move that we can make is to slow and steady in the three-dimensional world. We're going to let go of some things. This is the transformation. Is we have a lot of things that we have held onto very dearly, colorful, beautiful, material things that we can release and walk away from, forward into what is coming in, which is the Wheel of Fortune, which is change, inevitable change here. So let's find out, if we can, a little bit more about that change. What's this change about? It's coming in its sweet time. That's what that slowpoke knight, that Knight of Pentacles, tells us. There's big. It's the end of the world. But if we take the practical actions that are informed by, that we have learned, we have practiced, we have put the labor in, that we are going to get somewhere. So let's see, what is this somewhere? Okay, there is a choice, the Two of Swords. It's an intellectual, philosophical, ideological choice of air and swords. There's a Ten of Pentacles. This is material abundance and security. And transformation, death. Wow. That feels really clear to me too. The unknown new possibility that is represented by death, rebirth, death and rebirth here, right? We can see the portal to this next world, the sky here that we see our little tree in. We see that here as well. So this is what we feel we're making a decision between these things. This is the change, right? And I've reorganized these. So she's in a dilemma, right? This is one choice, this beautiful, known, conventional world of the 3D, and this really powerful, perhaps inevitable change, right? So you can be really up in your head and feel like you have a choice when you're in this Two of Swords. She's put her blindfold on. She's looking inward to her own counsel. She seems harassed by these birds that represent these two choices, this dilemma. This is clearly a powerful, beautiful vision for many people. This very heteronormative white fantasy of security. And then there's this. And for some of us, this is the only possibility is something else, a transformation, because this world as it is before transformation, this world that so needs this change that is represented, this inevitable change that is the turning of the fortune's wheel, that is the only possibility for a livable existence, is something new. Yeah. So that's the near future, is a feeling of being torn between keeping what you have and opening up to this really absolutely unknown future possibility. The bottom of the deck here, we're reminded perhaps of somebody. This Nine of Wands is a person who is tired of struggle, wise from struggle. This is somebody that needs this world to change. I think we also get the King of Cups here, this deep-hearted, emotionally intelligent guide. So this is very different from the young, sort of naive love. This is a wiser, more mature love. We also get fast-moving progress here. So this is moving from stagnation into the momentum of inevitable change, or you are moving from being stuck, right, just thinking, into the action that is being advocated here, that we embrace this very practical material action. We're seeing a lot here on the bottom of the deck. Ascension. This is a part of the maturing that needs to happen to meet the change that is coming in. And the last card, we see the Lovers. This is a union of people who are true to themselves, have integrity. It's also a choice being made in the future or at the present. And this card is also very much emphasizing that these are two different people. They're different genders, they're different ethnicities, different stories to each of these people's lives. And within this ideal relationship is a higher kind of love, right? Again, much more mature than this. Not this, oh, love is the answer kind of politics, but a very intimate, committed, that we have gone through, and we are able to be close in this love as ourselves. So that's all of this underlying energy. And furthermore, on the other deck, we just get the Three of Earth. Again, to remind us, very practically, we are building a new world together with others in community, and it is very 3D. So if we're feeling this challenged, our security, our world as we know it, inevitably changing here with the appearance both of death and rebirth, and that we're clarifying the Wheel of Fortune. We are also building something very practical. We are magicians, manifesting, making it real, making it 3D, just one thoughtful step at a time towards this new world. What's the bottom of this deck here? And we get earth and home. Much more, lots and lots of very grounded earth energy. This is the effect of Taurus, of Capricorn. These are energies that are out there for us to be feeling. And I know I'm feeling them in the night through my window. It just feels like a lot waking me up in the night. And I'm really new to all of this, trusting my intuition and coming up with stories that are informed by reading tarot cards and listening to astrologers. Yeah, I'm new to this. I feel like I would be dishonest of me to say that it's not resonating in the truth realm for me. I would be lying to you just so that you wouldn't think I was crazy. And I'm just a little bit inclined to cover up my crazy, but mostly I just feel like I've just had this massive transformation this year where I have to look somewhere else besides the information as it is normally put together for me, for new stories, new visions, new aspirations in this time, to just get through it, to be a part of, at last, a world where we all get to have a livable existence, to quote Judith Butler. Okay, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful day, and I hope that you're also feeling this Uranus revolutionary energy moving in a positive direction, because all of the planets are out of retrograde until the end of this month, when Mercury goes retrograde. And I don't know, just see, do you feel something different out there? Yeah, let me know. All right, bye-bye.